trade line went down, and we came away with our feelings, most importantly. But we got those things out.
Yes.
It's done. It's over with. It's like a loss. On to the next one.
We're on to L.A.
But they did acquire Donovan Peoples-Jones. Mm-hmm. Now I like it, Spinny.
I like it too. It was a good trade. You know, they only gave up a 6th-round pick for him. Bring him in. I said yesterday I liked it, but there was more things we had to talk about yesterday. But he's a solid weapon. We've seen him do things in this league before. He wasn't doing anything, obviously, so far this year, but you got him for a 6th-round pick. You went out there and you made it happen. It's a good depth piece to bring into the wide receiver room with Marvin Jones gone. He can return punts for you. He can return kicks for you. So I like that. I like that move. And, yeah, it's a good depth piece for the receiver room.
You want to hear my take on it, Spinny? I think it might be a little bit more than a depth piece. I like Donovan Peoples-Jones a lot. Yeah. Last year, obviously, we started the show with a little bit of fantasy talk. He was like a little secret weapon. He was like the number 2 wide receiver on the Browns team. I want to say, like, I looked at the numbers a little bit earlier. 839 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he's just more of like that vertical threat is when you look at like Donovan Peoples-Jones. A lot of the plays he had last year. It was when Jacoby Brissett was like the quarterback when he did work. Whenever Deshaun was, he really wasn't doing dick. It was kind of disappointing. Actually, I made that trade for Deshaun to have that stack with him and Cooper, and it was just
terrible.
Yeah, they're giving all the love to Peoples-Jones, but he can do it. He can catch those intermediate deep routes, or even just the straight goal routes. I mean, all the above. Donovan Peoples-Jones, in my mind, excels at that. I remember a couple years back when Odell was there, he gave nod to him being like a underappreciated guy in this league, and I think he's just that. The guy I'm nervous about, and why I think it's a little bit more than a depth piece, is Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. I think at this point we're all kind of like, we could call it how it is. It's not been the greatest.
No,
hasn't been consistent. I'll say that. And I think Jamo will still give you great moments. It's just not on a consistent basis. But Donovan Peoples-Jones running those same type of routes they're asking Jameson Williams to do.
Yeah.
Donovan Peoples-Jones, in my opinion, has better hands, and he might be taking a couple snaps away.
He might be taking snaps away for sure. Jamo's got to be on his P's and Q's. It's just me, J-Rock, Soul, and Q. He's got to go out there. He's got to make things happen if he doesn't want to get snaps taken away from him by Donovan Peoples-Jones. This is a fast guy. This is a guy who could stretch the field. He's a Michigan man. He's from Cass Tech. He went to Michigan. So I'm sure he's happy to be home. He's happy to be playing for his hometown team. So this is something Jamo's going to have to look out for. He's going to need to be better, flat out. He's got to be better if he doesn't want some snaps taken away from him.
Chris, I saw you had your hand up. You want to speak on this one?
Yeah, I just when it comes to Jamo though, my question is, because I'm with you guys, I think this is enough games where you can expect improvement, or you can expect improvement. Sorry, but at the end of the day, I don't think this guy is going to be that much better. Like, how much kind of room for growth do you see left? Because it is only, it is only a handful of games still. I know it's been multiple years, and there's been injuries and suspensions and everything breaking up the consistency of it. So I do think he will get somewhat better. But how much room do you actually think Jamo has to grow, especially now with a player who could be taking some of his opportunity away?
I think there's a lot of room for him to grow. Obviously, he's still a very talented athlete. He's a very gifted athlete. You can't teach speed and stuff like that. And a lot of players have struggled with drops at the beginning of their career. We talked about Devontae Adams. We talked about Jerry Rice. It's not unheard of for a receiver to come in the league and struggle with drops, but he's going to have to shape up. He's going to have to shape up, because that is one thing. No matter who you are,
you better shape up.
Because
I need a man.
And my heart is set on you.
Set on you.
You better shape up.
Better shape up.
You better understand. You gotta catch the football. Gotta catch the football. Jamo's the one that I want. You are the one I want. J-A-Mo, honey, the one that I want. Jamo's the one I want. Okay, but yeah, so
I think there's a lot of room for
there's a lot of room for him to grow.
A lot of room for growing, and I think he has the ability to hit it there. There is the fact that, because I don't say this too, because Jared Goff spoke on it. And I think I heard Jamo speak on it too, but they don't really have a chemistry yet. Mm-hmm. Like, even the throw that he had in that wheel route in the Raiders game, it was kind of like off kilter by Jared Goff. And maybe they're working on those things. Jamo needs to work on the type of things you see from Jared Goff, because that's the reality of the situation. Even if you may look at Jared Goff and you see a couple of those wobblers and you're like, oh, they're not the best, they're still in the vicinity of where it needs to be. And if you're if that's your quarterback, no matter what,
yeah,
that's going to be your starting quarterback, you need to adjust your routes. You need to adjust like your expectation of where that ball is going to be, and just get used to like what those balls are when they get there. And that's just what they're maybe going through. But there's also just the fact that he's dropped some that were just there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and again, Jamo's still going to have a piece of this offense, and he's still going to be explosive and be able to do all the things that he brings to you. But I think DPJ can bring those things a little bit more consistently. It may not be as fast. It may not be as down the field. You know, I don't forget who was against the Tampa Bay game. We cut him up on that comeback route. It was filthy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we'll see those things, but I think you'll see a lot more consistency and like catching the balls in those situations. And I'm not mad at it. Again, we still have Jamo to watch grow. We don't have to like keep this microscope on him every single game and come in on a Monday and just bash him for like dropping open passes, because I don't want to do that. I do have expectations. I do think he could be a brilliant piece of this offense. It's just not there yet.
Yeah, it's not there yet, and this is a guy to kind of, I don't know, to kind of siphon some of that away. Like, he's a free agent at the end of the season. So this season is like, all right, we need to do this now. You know, we have this offense. We have expectations this year. We need somebody who can consistently stretch the defense, and they think that's what Donovan Peoples-Jones is. So hopefully he can come in here. Hopefully he has a good relationship with Goff, and they're clicking on all cylinders, and you can use him as a weapon. But Jamo, you know, you better shape up. He's got to start catching these balls. He's got to start being more active, and like I said, I still have a lot of faith in the kid. I still think he can be a very, very good player in the NFL, but he's going to need to go out there and improve for sure.
I do have one question, though, because I just saw it pop in the chat. And actually two questions. One may extend to a Khalif Raymond topic. Shout out to DNC ENT. But seeing Jamo kind of struggle to gain a chemistry with Jared Goff, is it fair to say maybe that there's those same expectations with DPJ? Or do you think they'll...
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be, you know, just immediate connection, immediate chemistry. Like, it does take some time, but I don't know. I think... We'll see.
Just get like nervous about it.
It's going to take all year for this, too. No, we're going to have to see, man. We'll see. Hopefully he gets some snaps in the Chargers game. We'll see what can happen. Maybe you throw him a couple balls. But they have a whole bye week. If I was Dan Campbell... during this bye week and during next week, I would lock Jameson Williams, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Jared Goff in the training facility. Just be like, you guys aren't going home.
Feed them through like a tube in the door.
Feed them through a slit in the door.
Yeah.
You know, send them Chick-fil-A. Feed them good, but like, you guys aren't going home. Like, you need to work on this. So we'll see.
Yeah, and again, either way, I think that DPJ just has better hands, and if this may mean nothing, but he's gone through a quarterback cycle there in Cleveland as well.
You better shape
like, don't forget about Baker Mayfield, who was there beforehand, Deshaun Watson, then Jacoby Brissett. Like, I think Jacoby even got hurt before Deshaun fully came back. PJ Walker. Like, he's had like a multitude of quarterbacks to like. Maybe there's something to gain from that. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that everybody's going to give you the ball a little bit differently. Either way, I think he has to now. And no disrespect to Jamo, he just has better hands straight up.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like I said, he's something that he's got to work on. And hopefully it happens sooner than later. Hopefully that chemistry, hopefully those hands get together. Jamo, I want to see you on that jugs machine with Amara after practice every day. Like,
yeah, that's what hurts a little bit with the Jamo stuff. And maybe some of that stuff is God-given. You know, I'm not a professional athlete. I can't speak to it, but we see Nelson Aguilar, who is like just constantly ridiculed for like the drops. It's like, okay, as a professional athlete who has all day to focus on your craft and millions of dollars to go out and do what needs to be done to get better at it, and you're still consistently dropping balls, is like, okay, maybe you're just at the end of the day never going to be good at catching the ball. And I think that's a little something that Dan Campbell hinted to in the offseason. Where he's like, look, he's never going to have the great hands, but he's still an asset to the team.
Yeah.
A tool in the toolbox, if you will. I mean, he's going to be utilized either way. In the rounds, he's still going to get opportunities to catch the ball. It's just, I think DPJ, if you're looking at anybody on this depth chart, the wide receiver room, if he's taking anybody's time, I'm looking at Jamo. Because I'll get DPJ, he's a deep ball guy. He's
the worst
same
thing
type of
possible
skill set.
for Jamo would be DPJ to get like a deep ball touchdown against the Chargers.
It would be awful. It would be awful. Do you
for
think
him, for Jamo.
Yes, for Jamo, yeah. Yeah, exactly. It was amazing for the Detroit Lions.
It'd be great for the Detroit Lions, for sure.
I'm not complaining at all. I guess I do have to ask this because somebody mentioned Khalif Raymond. Do you see his snaps dwindling down with DPJ in there? And not really.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Khalif Raymond.
They love Khalif.
They love Khalif. He's a great player. He can do a lot of different things. So I don't think they're gonna take snaps away from him.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Michael Mike hopping in. He asked another question too. Cleve was the topic. How about Josh Reynolds? I saw some comments about Josh Reynolds losing some PT to the DPJ. A lot of acronyms.
No, I think Josh Reynolds is going to keep his PT even with DPJ and Jamo. Like, he's going to get... Like,
Say that 10 times fast.
Josh Reynolds, he might have a UTI or something, but he'll still go out there and BALL. Like, Josh Reynolds and Jared Goff have an insane amount of chemistry. We forget Josh Reynolds catches the first down every time he catches the ball. Like, he's still going to get his playing time. He's a weapon.
Yeah, I think they love Cleve Freeman. And
Yes.
they love Josh Reynolds, too. I think Josh Reynolds, he had the fumble last game, and he only had the one catch. He did get the one call for the pass interference.
Little
but
Michael.
if you look at Josh Reynolds, like, his numbers up until Jamar Chase went off last week was on par with Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
And I get that he was off to a slow start, but that's still Jamar friggin' Chase. Like, Josh Reynolds has been phenomenal and huge for this team, especially in the absence of Amon-Ra St. Brown in moments. So I think guys like him, guys like Khalif, you saw Dan Campbell cry during the primetime interview on Monday Night Football about the guys who were there in 2021 leading to this moment. Cleve Freeman, Josh Reynolds were all part of that. They went through that losing struggle to the winning team now, and I think they're going to be rewarded for it because, to be honest with you, I don't think they deserve less playing time. I think they've done great for what they've been asked to do.
I agree.